Hello, I am showing you the sugarcane farm that I've built. It is one complete chunk. If I show you the chunk boundaries, everywhere there's a minecart in there. Everywhere the minecart goes is all within the one chunk. So there's no danger of the minecart getting lost when it goes between chunk boundaries because it never actually leaves the chunk. So down at the bottom is a quick little shulker box loader storage system. Not terribly complicated. It yeah, fills up the shulker boxes and loads them in. Oh, that's the wrong one. So see, it's loading in the shulker boxes. So how it works is the minecart comes in after it goes all the way up, filling itself up. It falls down, lands on the detector rail, gets unloaded by the hopper minecarts underneath. It gets unloaded pretty quick because of that. And then when it's empty, the redstone will notice and let it continue down the track. Then it will run back and forth underneath these arrays of sugarcane, and that one actually apparently needs to be updated. Some of these do. Wow. Oh, because I'm missing a rail. That's why. All right. Well, there's a glitch in this. Yeah. So missing rails. That's why those aren't working. Anyways, so as the minecart runs back and forth and runs around, um, after it gets to the side of the first layer, it's just a simple little track that kind of brings it up. It was kind of tough to squeeze it in such that it wouldn't mess up with the redstone of the farm itself and everything, but I was able to squeeze it in using tricks like this where it goes up underneath the slab, and yeah. But that's just replicated a few times till it gets to the top. Um, you could go technically up to build limit if you want, but this height that I have seems to go very well with the 5-minute despawn rate of the items. So if one sugarcane gets broken off right after the minecart passes it, then the minecart will get back to it within the 5 minutes of it before it despawns. So I ran some timing tests, and I ran well, two different time lengths. One was a half hour and one was an hour long. And the half hour gave me 964 sugarcane. The hour gave me 1,982. So somewhere between 1,900 and 2,000 sugarcane per hour is what the rates of this farm is. And as I said, you could go up to build limit if you want, but you have to keep in mind that if it takes longer than 5 minutes for the minecart track to go between spots, then you could have some of the items despawning. As you can see here, we got 3 sections on each level, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 levels. And the timing of this is just under 5 minutes for the minecart to make its complete round, including the unloading of its load when it gets to the bottom here. So the rates, you could get all of the sugarcane through one hopper in that amount of time, but I had the double minecart hoppers here in order to unload the minecart that travels around faster. So that's the reason why I've got the two, just because in a way, it was easier to set it up this way than it was to put them all into one. And I don't mind having, the two different boxes with shulker boxes in it. So the way that a single sugarcane plant goes is it's got a glowstone next to it to keep it all well lit. And then there's the piston and the observer on top of it. When the sugarcane grows 3 high, the observer will notice that, power the block behind it, which then powers the rail underneath, which gives the update to the piston because the block being powered, this block being powered will quasi-conductivity power the piston. And so as soon as that gets the block update from the rail being powered, it will, punch forward and knock the upper 2 sugarcane off, leaving just the one on the bottom. And then it drops inside the little chamber there. It's all enclosed in the glass, and the minecart runs underneath and picks it up through the dirt. Very simple. So you've got 6 of those on each level. The ones in the middle are sharing the rail with the one next to it. So technically, if this observer notices both this one and this piston will both punch out. So in a sense, the center 4 pistons will go twice as fast on average as the ones on the edges, just because they have twice as many sugarcane plants they're observing the growth on. So it's not as big as I've seen sugarcane farms, but the concept that I was going for was trying to get the hopper that does the collecting to stay completely within the one chunk. And as we just saw, when it gets to the top, it just runs off the edge, falls all the way down to the hoppers down here to collect them, to pull the sugarcane out. And then it travels on its merry way, running its collection route again. So, fairly simple concept, but as I mentioned before, the tricky part is actually, squeezing the rails in the one spot to try and maximize the amount of sugarcane I could pack in the one chunk, with keeping all the minecart traveling within the chunk. So, and I wanted the main bulk of the farm all within the chunk as well. As if we look at the chunk boundaries again, the only bits outside the chunk itself is this block up here that kind of acts as a stopper to the minecart when it's running off the rail. And then down at the bottom, we've got this block here with the glass on top that acts kind of as a backstop for the inclined rail.
Redstone over here.
Then this redstone here that's part of the shulker box system. So simple thing, I can kind of explain the way this works. So the hoppers here kind of pull the information or the items down. So the items come into the minecart with hopper. It's pulled out by this hopper. It can't push it into the piston, so this one will pull it out. It can't push it into the observer, so it'll pull it. This one will pull it out and get put in here. As soon as this hopper gets full enough to have a power level 2 signal here, this block here will get powered, powering the observer, or powering the hopper, which the observer detects, and then this will fire off this little loop chain here. So the repeater power this piston, which pushes this observer up, powers this repeater, which powers this piston, pushes the observer down, which knocks the shulker box off, and then this hopper underneath will grab the shulker box, take it down into the storage here. And then once that comes around again, the this dispenser here will be powered from this observer being pushed down, and then as it's being pulled up, and the observer, their dispenser spits out the new shulker box in that space. So timing wise, it's very, quick timings right next to each other, but this is a design, the shulker box loader I saw from the SciCraft server guys. I'm not sure exactly which one it was that designed it. I think Il Mango had a design on his channel. The headbutting, well, they're not really headbutting, but this way of knocking the sugarcane off, I actually saw from Zedof's channel. In his Let's Play on the Hermitcraft server, he created a sugarcane farm that used this, and I decided to put them head to head against each other to kind of have a chamber that they could all be, the sugarcane would be trapped inside of. So that's the two main pieces that I pulled from other people. As far as, putting it all in one chunk and everything, that was an idea that I came up with and was able to squeeze in. So thanks for watching, and hope to see you guys later.